The morning started like any other day for the man who loved helping street animals. He woke up early and got his bag ready with cat food and a big bottle of water. This was something he did every single day because many cats in his area waited for him to bring them food. The cats knew his schedule and they would gather at the usual spots waiting for his arrival. The sun was already shining bright and hot, which meant it was going to be another very difficult day for animals living outside without any shelter. He walked down the familiar streets toward the place where he always fed the hungry cats. The morning air was already getting warm, and he could tell it was going to be a scorching hot day. When animals live on the streets, they have no way to escape from extreme heat, and this makes them very vulnerable to getting sick or even dying from the high temperatures. The man always worried about the street animals during summer months, because he knew how dangerous the heat could be for them. As he reached his usual feeding spot, he started putting food on the ground for the cats that were waiting for him. They came running when they saw him because they were hungry and knew he would take care of them. While he was scattering the kibble around for all the cats to eat, something caught his eye that made his heart start beating faster with worry. Some very tiny kittens were lying on the concrete pavement, and they looked extremely sick from the heat. The kittens were not moving around like healthy baby cats should be. Instead, they were lying very still on the burning hot concrete, and he could see they were suffering badly from the extreme temperature. Their little bodies looked weak and exhausted from trying to survive in the dangerous heat. The concrete pavement was so hot from the sun that it was actually burning their small bodies and making them even sicker. Without waiting even 1 second, the man dropped his bag of cat food and rushed over to the suffering kittens. A cat was walking around in the area, and his heart filled with hope. Maybe this was the mother of these dying kittens. He approached the cat slowly while holding the weak babies, praying that she would recognize them as her own children. He held the kittens near the cat and waited to see her reaction. If she was their mother, she would surely show some sign of recognition or try to take care of them. But the cat just sniffed at the kittens once and then walked away without showing any interest in them at all. Just when he was starting to feel desperate about what to do next, a person walking by stopped and told him about another cat they had seen lying on the ground, not far from where he had found the kittens. This news gave him new hope because it meant the real mother might actually be somewhere close by, unable to reach her babies because of her own problems with the heat. He quickly walked toward the direction the person had pointed, still carrying the weak kittens in his arms. The babies felt so light and fragile, and he could tell they were getting weaker with each passing minute. The heat was literally killing them, and he knew that time was running out fast. He had to find their mother and get all of them to safety before it was too late. When he reached the spot the person had described, he found exactly what he had hoped and feared to see. There on the ground lay a mother cat who was clearly in terrible condition from the extreme heat. She was breathing very hard and fast, which showed that her body was struggling to cope with the dangerous temperature. She seemed unable to move properly, and it was obvious that the heat had made her too weak and sick to continue searching for her missing babies. The man immediately understood what had happened to this cat family. The mother cat had been desperately looking everywhere for her lost kittens when they somehow got separated from each other. She had probably been walking around in the blazing sun for hours, searching frantically for her babies while the extreme heat slowly drained all her strength and energy. Eventually, the heat and dehydration had overcome her, and she had collapsed in this spot, unable to continue her search. Meanwhile, her tiny kittens had been lying on the burning concrete in a different location, also suffering from the same deadly heat that had brought down their mother. If the man had not come along when he did, all of these cats would have died from heat exhaustion within the next few hours. The situation was critical, but there was still time to save them if he acted quickly and correctly. He knelt down beside the suffering mother cat and immediately started helping her. From his water bottle, he poured some fresh, cool water into his cupped hand and offered it to her. The way she drank told him everything he needed to know about how desperately thirsty she was. She lapped up every drop of water he gave her as if her life depended on it, which it actually did. After she had drunk some water, he offered her some of the high-energy cat treats he always carried for emergencies exactly like this one. The mother cat ate the treats quickly and eagerly, showing how hungry she had become during her long search for her missing babies. The combination of water and food immediately began to help her feel a little stronger and more alert. This immediate first aid with water and nutrition was absolutely crucial for saving the mother cat's life. Animals suffering from heat exhaustion and dehydration can die very quickly if they do not get help right away. The fresh water helped cool down her overheated body and replace the fluids she had lost through panting and sweating. The food gave her energy that her body needed to start recovering from the trauma of heat exhaustion. But the man knew that all the cats needed professional medical attention to make sure they would survive and recover completely from their dangerous experience with the extreme heat. He carefully gathered up the mother cat and her kittens and took them straight to the nearest animal hospital. This trip to the vet was essential because heat exhaustion can cause serious internal problems that are not immediately visible. At the animal hospital, the vet examined all the cats very thoroughly and carefully. The mother cat was severely dehydrated, which meant her body had lost too much water and was not functioning properly. The vet explained that this was a very serious condition that could have killed her if she had not received help when she did. Dehydration affects all the organs in an animal's body and can cause permanent damage or death. The tiny kittens were also examined for signs of heat-related illness. The vet found that they had been saved just in time before the extreme heat could cause permanent damage to their small bodies. After getting the medical clearance that all the cats would recover completely with proper care, the man made the decision to take them home with him. His house had air conditioning and would provide the cool, comfortable environment that this cat family desperately needed to heal and recover from their traumatic experience with the dangerous heat. He prepared a quiet, comfortable room in his house where the cat family could rest without being disturbed. The room had soft bedding, fresh water that was always available, and nutritious food for the mother cat. The cool temperature inside the house was exactly what they needed after spending hours suffering in the deadly heat outside. The relief was immediate and obvious when the cats entered the cool house. The mother cat seemed to understand instinctively that she and her babies were finally safe from the danger that had nearly killed them. She settled down with her kittens in the comfortable room, and for the first time that day, all the cats were able to relax completely and start the healing process. In his home, the rescued cat family joined other animals that the man had saved from the streets over the years. His house had gradually become a sanctuary for homeless animals who had nowhere else to go and no one else to care for them. Each animal had their own story of rescue and recovery, and they all seemed to understand what the new arrivals had been through because they had experienced similar trauma themselves. The other rescued animals in the house were gentle and welcoming to the new cat family. They seemed to sense that these cats had just been through a terrible ordeal and needed time and space to recover. This supportive environment helped the cat family feel secure and safe as they began to heal from their experience. The mother cat spent the rest of that day focused entirely on taking care of her babies and recovering her own strength. The kittens stayed close to their mother, nursing regularly and sleeping peacefully in the safe, cool environment. The man made sure they had everything they needed, including constant access to fresh water and high-quality food to help the mother cat produce healthy milk for her babies. As the hours passed, it became increasingly clear that all the cats were going to make a complete recovery from their brush with death. The mother cat began moving around more normally and showing more energy. The kittens became more active and playful, displaying the natural curiosity and liveliness that healthy baby cats should have. The dangerous morning when they had all nearly died from heat exhaustion was becoming just a bad memory. This rescue experience taught many important lessons about helping animals during emergency situations. The most crucial lesson was that when someone finds baby animals alone and in distress, they should always search the surrounding area very carefully for the mother animal. In many cases, the mother is somewhere nearby but may be injured, sick, or trapped and unable to reach her babies. Heat is one of the most serious threats to animals living on the streets, especially during the summer months when temperatures can become deadly very quickly. Animals can suffer from heat exhaustion, dehydration, and death in just a matter of hours when they have no access to shade, cool water, or air conditioning. Baby animals and elderly animals are at even greater risk because their bodies cannot cope with extreme temperatures, as well as healthy adult animals. Having emergency supplies available during animal rescue situations can literally mean the difference between life and death. Fresh water is the most important thing to have because dehydrated animals need immediate access to fluids to prevent organ failure and death. Emergency food supplies are also valuable because stressed and exhausted animals need nutrition to help their bodies recover from trauma and begin the healing process. The importance of keeping animal families together during rescue situations cannot be emphasized enough. Baby animals need their mothers not only for food and warmth, but also for emotional comfort and security during frightening and stressful experiences. Separating families should only be done when absolutely necessary for urgent medical reasons, and reuniting them should always be the primary goal whenever possible. Professional veterinary care is absolutely essential after any animal rescue, even when the animals appear to be fine on the surface. Many problems caused by heat exposure, dehydration, trauma, or other medical issues may not be immediately obvious to untrained observers. Only qualified veterinarians have the knowledge and equipment necessary to properly assess rescued animals and provide appropriate medical treatment. Creating a safe, comfortable environment for rescued animals involves much more than just providing basic food and water. Animals need protection from extreme weather conditions, access to fresh water at all times, appropriate nutrition for their age and condition, and a quiet space where they can recover from their traumatic experiences without additional stress or disturbance. This story of one-day rescue demonstrates how quickly life-threatening situations can develop for animals in need, and how rapid human intervention can completely change the outcome from tragedy to triumph. What began as a routine morning feeding turned into a critical rescue mission that brought an entire cat family from the brink of death to complete safety and security within the span of just a few hours. The man who saved this cat family had not planned or expected to become involved in such a dramatic rescue when he started his day. However, his willingness to act quickly and decisively, combined with his preparation and knowledge about animal care, enabled him to save multiple lives in a single day. His home became a permanent sanctuary not only for this cat family, but for many other animals who had also needed second chances at life and happiness.